What is up, humans of the cardboard? Welcome back to Just Nuts. We are here again today with more Dimension Force weird archetype support. We've got Symphonic Warriors today. Yesterday, or last night I should say, we got hit with the Heroic Challengers. Before that we had Zombie support, and before that we had Pendulum. So this seems to be the set of just weird archetypes like getting support. But yeah, this is pretty cool. As far as I know, I don't really remember Symphonic Warriors really doing much except for like microphone and guitar being played as like an engine that kind of helps pump out not VFD, what's it called? UTI? Wait, that's not oh my god, CDI. Jesus, UTI. CDI. It's really early for your boy. But yeah. All I remember is in ABCs, it being played as a small engine that can help pump out a CDI just to get an extra negate on the board. But yeah, let's just see what we got here. Starting off here, our first card is Symphonic Warrior Guitarist. Their designs always look like this, and it looks like they're leaning more into the pendulum aspect of this archetype, which is pretty interesting. It's also a wind, so maybe Wind Channeler becomes interesting in this deck. The girl that can like search any wind monster in the game, pretty much. It's pretty cool. Anyway, she's this card is a level 3 wind machine, pendulum tuner. Okay, 1100, 500 for the stats. Pendulum scale is 0, so nice and low. And its pendulum effect is a hard once per turn. It reads that you can target one other Symphonic Warrior card you control, return that card and this card to your hand. Interesting. I like that it's card because you could potentially like go scale, pendulum summon, then bounce your scale, so they're not committed to the field. We do know that like sometimes getting evenly matched and it resolving when you play a pendulum deck means like you just lose so much. So being able to bounce these to hand means like even if your opponent clears your board, a lot of times you'll still have monsters in extra deck and you already have scale set up for the next turn. So that's not the worst thing in the world. I don't know what other reason you'd want to be bouncing your own stuff, but fine. Just fine. Moving on here, you have two hard ones per turn monster effects as well. The first effect says if Symph Amplifier is in your field zone. Okay, so I think the deck already has this card. I don't think it's a very good card. Anyway, you can special summon this card from the hand. Okay, it's extender. Second effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you could target one card in your pendulum zone, return it to the hand. Okay, again, like he's just like returning everything to your hand. Seems kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about this card, but it's a tuner. It jumps out of the hand. I'm thinking there might be some kind of play or combo where you start by scaling him to help get you to Symph Amplifier. So you scale him, you get Symph Amplifier, he bounces himself and another card to hand, and then he can just jump out of the hand because you've searched Symph Amplifier. So like maybe that's the whole gimmick there. Who knows, man? Who knows? All right, next up here we have Symphonic Warrior DJs. I love this guy. He's literally just like a walking DJ board, and he's like using himself, you know? Very cool. Level 4 wind machine, of course. 12/12 for the stats, and a high scale. We have a level 8. Here he has his second effect, pendulum effect, is a hard once per turn. The first one reads once per turn you can change one of your face down defense position Symphonic Warriors to face up defense position. I'm assuming that has some synergy with something else. I'm assuming you have something in the deck that like sets your stuff, and this can just get you the potential to flip it face up in the same turn, which could be pretty nice. And the second effect, if a Symphonic Warrior monster's effect is activated, you can special summon this card from the pendulum zone. That's pretty cool because you could like scale this just to get a pen summon off, and then assuming you would have effects on the field, this card would trigger and then be able to jump out of the hand for extra extension. That's pretty cool. So then as a monster effect, I believe it's just once, one monster effect, hard once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon one Symphonic Warrior monster from your deck in face down defense position. Okay, so he combos with himself. If you control Symph Amplifier in your field zone, you can instead special summon a Symphonic Warrior from your deck, except DJs, but its effects are negated. Okay, so if you have the field spell up, you don't have to summon it face down. That's really the only thing there. So I guess theoretically you could, this combos with the first card, because like if you normal summon this card to summon a monster from deck face down, you could then use something like Guitarist to bounce himself and the amplifier on field back to hand, then you could scale amplifier and use its scale effect to then flip the monster you summoned face up. Seems like you're jumping through a lot of hoops, but I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. This is just like straight up like a tour guide effect, essentially. And if you're flipping it face up, it's not negated, like if you're using the second part of this effect with the field spell up. So, fine. First two monsters, okay. I don't know the full scope of everything, but seems okay to me. Next up here, we have Symphonic Warrior Rocks. Woo! It's got the whole band in the card art. This kind of reminds me of the Penguin Synchro that just had like 5 different penguin artworks in it, and now we're just getting all those penguins, it seems like. Anyway, this is a level 7 Wind Machine Synchro Pendulum Effect monster. Yikes. 2500 attack, 1500 defense. It is scale 10. Jeez. You can only use this card's first pendulum effect once per turn. During the standby phase, you can add a pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Face-up extra deck to your hand. Okay, cool. Second effect, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can destroy that monster and this card. Interesting. Very interesting. So it does, like, once it just gets in scale, it is just like giving you some pretty good value, actually. Just getting something from extra deck back to hand every standby, and getting you protection on a battle. Not even protection, it's like just like punishment on battle, but like punishment / protection. So very cool. Okay. Then for its monster effects, it has 2 hard ones returns. The first 2 effects here. The first one is, if this card is special summoned, you can add a pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck to your hand. Okay. So you make this card and immediately adds you a resource back. That's actually pretty nice for like extension. Second effect, if you control Synth Amplifier in your field zone, you can destroy 1 card on the field. This probably should have been a quick effect, right? Like, does this card not have any disruption? Third effect of this card is destroyed by battle or card effect in the monster zone. Place it in the pendulum scale. Yeah, this card's really weird to me. I'm like wondering what the payoff is. This deck seems to not really have a win condition. I mean, maybe they're just like generic cards you're really trying to take advantage of for win conditions, but this seems weird. This card is weird. It just is like removal, but it's conditional on having amplifier on the field. On summon, you get a resource, so like I guess it can potentially help you synchro climb. And then it goes to scale, which then gets you a resource every standby phase. It's more of a grindy card, like resource card, than anything else. Kind of weird. I don't know if the deck has a boss monster. Maybe you just use it like you summon this, you have a normal summon, you add back your guitarist, and now you can normal guitarist or summon him out somehow. Or if you have Synth Amplifier, jump him out of the hand, and then synchro these 2 into Baronne de Fleur. But you need to have something other than Baronne de Fleur, let's be honest. Whoops, there's my alarm. Next up here, we have our last card. We have Dress Rehearsal. This is not a Symphonic Warrior card. But anyway, this card has 3 effects, but the second and third are hard once per turn, and it's a continuous spell. The first effect reads, each time the effect of a Symphonic Warrior monster card is activated, place 1 Symphonic counter on this card when that effect resolves. Okay. Second effect, you can remove 3 Symphonic counters from anywhere on your field to add a Symphonic Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, that seems like fairly easy. I mean, like, you do have to open it in a hand that already has the ability to put 3 counters on it, but still, if you can at least get 3 counters, you can go places. And the last effect here, if you normal or special summon a Symphonic Warrior monster or monsters, you can add a Synth Amplifier from your deck to your hand. Okay, so that's pretty cool that, like, theoretically, in most situations, this card is going to be a +2. It's a continuous, so it stays on the field, and you just, as long as you can summon once, you're going to add a Synth Amplifier. As long as you can, and then as long as you can get 3 Symphonic Warrior effects off, then you can get a search for another monster as well. Not too shabby. I just don't know what the end game for Symphonic Warriors are. Like, are you just making CDI? Is that like all you're doing? I don't really know what else the deck can really do that is threatening, but the support doesn't seem too bad. I mean, I don't love the synchro. I mean, it is like a good resource card, but it seems like it's going to be a little too slow getting stuff back on the standby phase and whatnot. Its removal isn't a quick effect, which is really lame. So I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I just think this is weird. I just think it's weird in general that we're getting Symphonic Warrior support. Maybe this will be one of those sets that goes down as like that weird set that just supported all these I know there's a lot of random archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's kind of hard to like just call it random, but these seem like particularly random. Like if you had told me we were going to get Symphonic Warrior and Heroic Challenger support in this set, I would have been like, you're crazy. But here they are, and maybe they'll keep the train going. But we'll see as we go. Obviously, I'll keep you updates and reviews on any new cards that drop for the set. It looks like we might just be getting into the full swing of reveals for this set. So yep, I'll keep you updated as we go. Stay tuned, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.